Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. We're now looking at the Season 23 starter guide for the Barb. Now, Barb is going to get the Wrath of the Waste out of the Haedrigs. It is, in my opinion, the strongest option for solo casual play. Barb always comes together really easy, and given that this set is just so good, it is very, very hard to pass up as a solo casual player. We'll go through all the options, 0 to hero, all the way up to GR100, really easy with the Barb, super easy time of pretty much everything. But before we do jump in and take a look, as always, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated, so it's very nice. But yeah, let's make a new character. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do the challenge rift because I don't want to brick my season, but after you have done that, well, first you do the character, so we'll just call this one Barb. We don't want the 10% DPS increase this time for the witty name. Now what you would do is you would load into adventure mode, you then come out, do the challenge rift. It's easy on EU and NA this time. It's a rapid fire demon hunter. If you are unfamiliar, you've got a couple of options. You can check out a content creator guide, so maybe Rax, P-Child, Leviathan, Mnemonic are just some people off the top of my head who do these videos. The other option is you just put the game on public and join, and in 4-player you will smash the challenge rift. Always, it's very easy with 4 people. Once you've done it, you load yourself through to adventure mode. I would leave the game on normal to start off with, because the first thing, well, an early thing we're going to do is go and get the cube. Now, when we get in, bottom right, you will have a challenge rift baggie waiting for you in your inbox. Obviously, I've got a few saved up, so we'll pop it open. Inside, we get goodies, we get reusable parts, arcane dust veil crystals. These help us craft stuff, which is brilliant. DBs, which allow for artisan upgrading all the way to max. So that is going to be Haedrig and also the Mystic. We get bounty mats, so we can extract things, which is perfect because it means that we can have access to level 70 powers and cube them. And we also get 5.1 million gold, which is a ton. It means we can buy lots of stuff from vendors. So if you're ever short on gear, gold will come in very handy for that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Templar's weapon because we feel like being douchey on this one, so we will actually take it. I do come down here next, so in this example we've got one that is better, so I would probably put that on. There's no need to give the Templar his back, he doesn't do anything anyway. We buy these items because they roll with life per second, so again, you know, we can stick these on. People giving me grief because I'm not right clicking in these videos, but yeah, we can right click to equip it. So life per second, pretty handy early on now. I still tend to look for boss bounties, so Magda, we've got her, so we'll go kill her just because we get a diabolic horde when we do so. So, ooh, I tell you what, let's remember to do the cosmetics this time. So, pair of wings, these lovely updated blizzard ones, and a pet. Did we hire the Templar? I don't think we did. Never mind, we'll do that when we get back, but we'll go kill Magda, and then I'll fast forward to that. There we go, we've killed Magda, we've got ourselves a diabolic horde, as well as some upgrades, hopefully some goodies. So now that we've done this, we're going to go hire the Templar, which we should have done first, and then we're going to go get the cube. So I'll fast forward to when we've got the cube, and then we'll go from there. Well, this is another RIP season moment, isn't it? A blood shard goblin. Never mind, we'd like one of these on season, please. We'll kill it, we'll get the blood shards. Why not? So here we are, guys, we're at the Elder Sanctum. The cube is in the Ruins of Session, which is Act 3. I always forget to mention that. But it's the second level Elder Sanctum we want, and the cube is normally in a similar-ish place. Hopefully speaking, you've been and found it before. And once you've got it, that's when the fun really begins. So there we go, guys. We're at the Elder Sanctum with the cube. I've had to teleport out. I think if you've already got it, there's a bit of a glitch and you can't grab it. But on season, you won't have any problems. So that's it. We've got it. We've now got to go spend the challenge rift bag. So let's talk about the 2 different strategies for doing that. Now, in terms of Barb, there are 2 routes you can go down. You can either upgrade a 2-handed mighty weapon or a 1-hander. Now, 2-hander, I think, is probably the better way, but we'll go through the various options. Now, a Gavel of Judgments will buff up Hammer of the Ancients. This is absolute jackpot. It returns Fury. It's amazing for leveling. This is absolute, definitely the winning choice. This one's rubbish. Stun enemies for 2 times or 2 seconds when you hit them. Naff. IK Boulder Breaker, you don't want that. Fury of the Vanished Peak is okay. It's got resource cost reduction on Seismic Slam and a bunch of damage, so pretty good. Blade of the Tribes also now does have a multiplier, but Warcry and Threatening Shout, you're not going to be able to use them like loads, but they will be fairly situational. And then a Bastion's Revered, not the best, but again, Frenzy can stack a little bit. So you got two really good ones, a couple of kind of mediocres, and then a couple of pretty naff ones. So there are 1, 2, 3, 6, so it's a 1 in 3 shot of getting something really good. Now, Mighty Weapons, one-handers, Ambo's Pride obviously pairs with Whirlwinds. This is the main weapon that you're going to need. So is it worth going for it? Is it worth the risk? Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in here. So it's not too bad on the RNG, a 1 in 8 chance. If you're feeling lucky, you can go for it. Blade of the Warlord will buff up Bash for you, so you do get a multiplier. That one's kind of okay. The Bulkathos Blades, whilst they're useless for leveling, they are obviously kind of useful at 70, so it's not like the end of the world. Dishonored Legacy again buffs up Cleave depending on Missing Fury, so again, you know, it is at least more damage. Fjord Cutter, the slam one, you need to make sure that you've got slow or chill. You just have to go through your skills and make sure that you do, you know, get a corresponding pair, so make sure that you are slowing. Oathkeeper is okay, 50% attack speed on primary and a multiplier. And then Remorseless is a bit naff because Wrath of the Berserker, Call of the Ancients, it's quite hard to get them both active at the same time, and you also don't get tremendous uptime or access to them whilst leveling. So it's kind of up to you. If you're going to go the two-hander way, I would probably do this first and then roll shards, and I guess even if you're doing it this way, I'd probably do shards second, but make your choice. Go for one, and then we'll go do the shards. So at level 1, Barb has actually got a pretty decent loot pool, probably one of the best in the game actually, and it will probably be braces if you're looking for damage. So Seismic Slam, braces of destruction. Obviously if you get the Fury of the Vanished Peak or the slam weapon, if you go the one-hander way, then these would be great to get. Braces of the First Men buff up Hammer of the Ancients. So again, this pairs with the Gavel of Judgments, which is pretty good. Now, Barb has also got some really cool items. So Band of Might is usually what you go for if you're grouping and someone else is handling the DPS. Maybe if you're playing with the Necro, you could go for Band of Might. That's probably a good idea. Loot Socks, I kind of like for leveling. They do keep you a bit, well, nice and zippy. You can jump about with them, so they're pretty good. And Leorix is always useful for the XP that you can put in it. Other than that, guys, Fjord Cutter is in theory in the loot pool at level 1, but again, you don't really want to be rolling weapons. It's just far too hard on the RNG, but again, it is there if you want it. Now, in terms of leveling, the most important thing always is the two-handed mighty weapon trick. Well, I'll say mighty weapon, we're going to do a mace, but we're going to roll this for reduced level requirements. We did pretty well on the wizard one, so let's see. So we don't have life per hit on this one, so it isn't perfect, but I don't like crafting multiple ones because it is hard on the Veiled Crystals. So secondary life after kill and 1% chance to stun is perfect. We will go and roll this at the Mystic. You generally get about 7 or 8 goes at this, and yeah, it's just a question of are you feeling lucky, punk? And obviously anything over 20 I always say is a keeper, but it is certainly possible to miss this, and you know, we've had pretty good luck in videos, but occasionally you will brick this. There's not much you can do. You'll just have to save up some more Veiled Crystals and come back and try again at like level 30 or level 40. And there we go, rip season again, 28. So we would then stick this in the stash, and at 42 we could use it. Now you can also craft two-handed weapons as you go, so you can do an axe, I think. Where are we? Weapons. So two-handed axe, you can do these, you know, level 8, level 16, so on and so forth. Same for swords. You can go through and craft them if you want. Again, obviously it will cost you mats, so that's entirely up to you, but that's a nice DPS increase as you go through the levels. What I would do if you do that, come back to the Mystic, make sure you get them transmogged. Anything crafted that you haven't rolled, transmog it, because on PC you can't auto salvage if it's transmogged. Other than that, as always, the gem, the jeweler guy is important. You want to get rubies in your helm. Best one you have access to goes in here. By all means, upgrade them as you collect them. You might be able to upgrade to a marquee gem just by collecting like the square ones or something like that. Second best one goes in your weapon for damage, and that probably with your Hadrigs, with your extract and all that kind of stuff, will probably get you there. So let's see, can we completely rip the season? What should we do? Let's go two-handed mighty weapons. I think this is probably the most popular choice. It's probably a little safer, I think, than doing the one-hander. So we craft it, we come over, we can only do this once, so we'll hit upgrade, and we got a Blade of the Tribe, so that's not amazing, but it's not too bad. So we would then go to recipe 1, extract it, and it would go in a cube, and we would just have to pop it on like that, and then as we level, whenever we press Warcry or Threatening Shout, we get Avalanche and Earthquake, both of which have got 800% extra damage, so it is kind of nice. That would be kind of fun. We could play around with that as we level. Now, in terms of leveling, the strategies really, I'd say, boil down to probably a choice of doing cursed chests, and I would go to the Temple of the Firstborn and just kind of rock around this area looking for the chest. It's got a really high spawn rate, it's like 60-70%, and you can do a really nice massacre bonus there and get some good XP. Or the other option that I quite like is doing rifts. It is probably one of the slowest ways these days to do it, but you do get slightly better drops, and you get a variety of maps instead of just doing the same thing over and over again. But they're probably the two main methods that I'd use to get my character up to 70. Obviously, it's a dynamic process. You'll build with what the game gives you. There's interesting things in the loot pool, so I'm not going to cover exactly what it is you do. It will be guided by the items that you find. But Barb, if you get yourself some nice braces, we probably should roll the braces, shouldn't we? Just let's brick the season completely. But if you do get them, obviously they would give you a nice DPS increase. There we go. We'll be playing Hammer of the Ancients with Warcry and Threatening Shout, and we would get to 70 fairly fast. So yeah, pretty good time of it. Now, once we're at 70, we're going to start to get Wrath of the Waste pieces. This is just incredible for leveling. So the 2-piece, we get extra damage on rend, and its duration increased by 15, so 15 seconds. That's a lot of damage on a 2-piece. It is very nice. 4-piece damage reduction, and we also get rend applying triple damage, so more damage on the 4-piece. So GR20 with Barb is an absolute cakewalk. You don't need to do any Legacy of Dreams nonsense. Just the 2 and 4-piece Wrath of the Waste, you'll smash GR20 absolutely everywhere. And then the 6-piece Whirlwind and rend gain 10k damage. Again, wonderful 6-piece, really does absolutely demolish stuff. Now, you're going to set up a Rend Whirlwind Barb normally first. So Ambo's Pride is the key weapon. So this is a one-handed mighty weapon as we showed it earlier. There are 8 in the pool. So again, it's not going to take too long for this to pop out. It's not nasty. It's not like a fist weapon. You will find one fairly soon. Hang on to these two if you find them. So the Bulkathos Blades, they're very nice. They give you infinite resource basically, which is pretty cool. Your other main modifier is a Lamentation Belt, so I would roll shards for this. Mighty Belts can be a pain. It's in there with all the other belts. Let's say you hit your Ambos, I would then start upgrading these, which is pretty easy. So make sure you're crafting Mighty Belts or taking them from Gala and upgrading them. Don't upgrade normal belts, you need a mighty one. But once you get this, Ren stacks twice and has a bunch of damage, which is pretty cool. Band of Might you can always get as level 1 Barb. We'll go have a look at the loot pool in a minute. But it's super easy to get this in the cube. Mantle of Channeling again is blood shards. The rings are completely superfluous, but obviously a Zodiac helps. A Stone of Jordan or Convention of Elements would be great. Mortix Brace is always nice to have as a Barb. We don't need Nems anymore because the followers got it. And you can always craft yourself a Hellfire. You're going to be doing this as part of your season journey anyway. Barb's got some good passives, so this can always go on your character as well. Now, follower-wise, again, if you've watched the follow guide, there's lots of things you can do. This is just a lot of mishmash stuff I've chucked together just to do GR100. The most important one for kind of doing speed GRs is going to be the Flavor of Time and Nemesis braces. And then for T16, you're going to want Sages and Canes and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Flavor of Time, Nems, it's kind of nice because it does open up these 2 slots for us as the Barb. Let's have a look at the loot pool and see what else we can get if we make an alt character at level 1. Now, normally when building a Barb, you can come back and get braces if you miss them, but Whirlwind doesn't pair with either of them, so you don't need to do that. You don't need Girdle of Giants because you're not doing Leapquake. But as I say, Band of Might is just amazing. Now, Leoric Signet, obviously that's completely useless, but Band of Might can go in the cube, which is pretty good. Homing pads do emanate, so you could go and get these if you really wanted them at level 1. Probably unnecessary, but again, you could do. Leoric's cooldown's kind of important with Whirlwind to keep up Wrath of the Berserker. So again, if you're struggling, you can pick one up. Same for a regular belt, so Gold Wrap. If you do happen to get yourself a puzzle ring early, you can do this. Just bear in mind, Barb's got Mighty Belts, so it is a little bit annoying. It's not as easy to hit as other classes, so you might be better off. Let's say you wanted the Gold Wrap, go make another character. You'll probably hit it quicker than Barb, but again, big brain stuff here, guys. And other than that, I think it's going to be plain sailing to GR100. Legendary gem-wise, a Bane of the Powerful is always out first. You will use this as a Whirlwind Barb, so that's nice. You've got Bane of the Trapped, which obviously is going to give more damage, and then Teguk for more damage and more toughness. Now, this is a build that will clear GR100 pretty easily. Now, I've taken out the crit damage gems because my gear is kind of nice. We've got 11.7k main stat. I can't get it any lower. I've taken all of the stuff out of here. Let's put move speed in because we're not savages. But other than that, we've got it out. So sheet damage of under 1 million, which maybe makes up for the 150 gems, maybe makes up for the primals, but you get the idea. It's super easy as Barb to do 100. Now, these are the skills that I'm going to recommend for a completely fresh, solo casual player. Whirlwind Hurricane, because we're using the Bulkathos blades, we can do the Vortex, makes it very nice and lazy. Battle Rage, into the fray, we basically get the crit chance. We can also do, I tell you what we can do, which I do quite like as well, is Bloodshed. So we get this crit explosion. So let's try that because I think that's actually better. Wrath of the Berserker Insanity for more damage, crit chance, attack speed, move speed. Ignore Pain, I've put this on because as we don't have any main stat gems, we could potentially be a little squishy, so I like having an oh shit button, but by all means you don't need this. When you do have diamonds in your gear, Warcry with Impunity is a nice skill to take. Rend, Bloodbath, the Whirlwind applies Rend, but we get a rune if we put it on the bar, so Bloodbath just deals the most damage. So physical is normally what you want on your braces, but because I'm using the Stone of Jordan, because I just can't be bothered using convention, I've gone for fire, but it doesn't matter. Furious Charge, Merciless Assault, I use this to try and keep nice and zippy. When you do push, you're going to take this off and you're going to go for Ground Stomp, Wrenching Smash, whereas to group, you're also going to put on Ancient Spear, Rage Flip. So obviously you'll have to choose either dump Battle Rage or Warcry Impunity. And at that point, you would start to group up and use area damage to kill big packs of mobs. But as I say, this is solo casual, so we don't need to worry about that. Boon of Bulkathos is a great passive. It knocks 30 seconds off your Wrath of the Berserker cooldown. Ruthless equally is brilliant, 40% damage to enemies below 30% health. Berserker Rage, this goes really well with the Bulkathos blades because when we get to max fury we deal extra damage. Just be aware, if you do take a speed pylon and your attack speed goes crazy, you will drop this because you won't be able to keep up your fury. You'd have to do some more RCR jiggery pokery for that. Rampage, 1% strength for 8 seconds, stacking up to 25 times. And then I think, what have we got on here? We've got Nerves of Steel. Follower has got Cheat Death as well, so we've got 2 Cheat Deaths to eat through. So realistically, it should be absolutely fine. But they're the skills. I don't know, 11.7k main stat. And yeah, you'll see that this should be a walk in the park. And Festering Woods, nice. Now, I've put a Call to the Sherma on the follower. Again, if you are doing high-end push stuff, you don't want this because you don't want the blind, you don't want the crowd control. But for solo casual, I think it's quite nice. It's quite a good effect. Blinded enemies are generally not going to be hitting you. But as you can see, it's super easy to demolish GR100 with the Barb. I will put some D3 planner links in for this particular build, as well as what I would suggest for key farming, for bounties, and GR speeds in general. But it's the Barb's best set, it's the meta set, so it's a really good time. And out of all the things in the game that we build, I'd say Whirlwind Barb is one of the quicker things to throw together. I mean, to kind of talk about its power, my group, we're going to do triple necro on opening night, and then we're going to have 1 Barb with us. The Barb is going to get the Haydrigs, and then they are going to basically carry us, and we're all going to reroll wizards, get power leveled with the ZDH, and go into the kind of the comp with 2 wizards from there. So shout out to Debussy for helping us out with our group comp on stream the other day. But that's enough waffling. I'll cut to the boss, and hopefully it'll probably only be a 5-minute rift again, like the wizard. Nice and strong and a lot of fun. So see you in a minute. There we go, guys, just over 5 minutes. Festering Woods was Pog, but yeah, spaghetti after that, and no Condi and no power. But Whirlwind is incredibly strong, it's very fast, super easy to put together. Hopefully this guide has given you some tips on how to play it and what to do. It is the meta endgame set for the Barb, so you can do whatever you want with this. The world is your oyster. If you do group, XP Barb is super easy to play as well, so Barbs will be in demand. There's going to be a lot of people rolling Wizard, so you will get into group comps as well. Maybe if you want to give that a go, that's something you can consider. That is it. I will see you. Season 23 starts tomorrow. Really excited. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Peace.